the first word of this week's Parsha for Korach. We're going to look at it in detail across the board to give you an idea of what to do. The root of the word was Vav Yud Kuf Mem Vav. Vayakumu. Vayakumu. It's from Pasuk 16, the chapter 16, verse 2, in the Parsha of Korach in the book of Bamidbar. First thing to do, we look at the root. You see the root here is Kuf Vav Mem. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's called a dropping ayin vav. Now the language that we use in Hebrew, the international language, is if the first root letter, whatever the first root letter is you're talking about, let's say a pei nun. Pei ayin lamed is the Hebrew word for verb, or to do something. A poel is a worker. The verb is the thing that does the work in the sentence. So we have to understand that every vowel change in the Hebrew language changes the meaning of the word. The slightest little nuance, instead of putting a kometz, you put a patach. It can't be the same word. It's not the same. Every one of those 10 vowels and the 22 letters, if there's a variation in those 32 things, the 10 vowels and the 22 letters, which happens to be the 32 times that the name Elohim is mentioned in the book of Bereshit to tell us that there's 22 letters and 10 vowels that created the world. The vowels are the sounds and the letters are the meaning, convey a primal meaning. Any one of those things changes, the smallest little nuance changes the word and gives a different definition of meaning. And that's why we have to be and understand this so well. So now you got this word, we got pei, again, was the first letter, is you call it a pei root. The middle root letter is ayin, so here you have in kum, right, our root in number 1, the root is kuf vav mem. It's called an ayin vav, and the vav of the middle root letter drops away. It's there as the root in its primal expression of what it means, but when you define the word in this particular form, the rules of grammar demand that it be dropped. You don't see it there. Even though you got a kubutz under the kuf, which is representative of the vav itself is missing. The vowel is there as an u, but it's only as a short vowel rather than the long vowel of the shuruk, which would be a vav being there with a dot in it, like the last letter of the word. So that's the root, is kuf vav mem. And the final, by the way, if a third root letter is affecting the changes in the word, like a hey is the last root letter, we call it a lamed hey. Why? Because the lamed position of the word pei ayin lamed, not the number of letters in the into the word, but the third root letter. We're only talking about roots when we're talking about the third root letter would be a hey. We call it a lamed hey because it changes patterns. Okay? So we got again. What was the word? I just forgot. The word is, right, pa'al, pei ayin lamed. First root letter is called the pei position. Ayin is called in the letter is called the second position, and the third root letter, when you're referring to, is called the lamed position. Pei ayin lamed. Those are our references. I hope that's clear. Kuf vav mem, kuf vav mem is the root of vayakumu. The binyan, that will be the relationship of the subject and the predicate. And it will be here. I see I made a mistake. Instead of he rose up, it's they rose up. Now, here's what I talked about, right? In the reversing vav. We're going to see that in this word. It has the reversing vav. The word is kuf vav mem. The yud at the beginning and the u at the end is always a sign of the third person future tense, masculine form, which includes masculine and feminine in Hebrew. In this case, it's more general. It can be only men or it can be men and women mixed. You use the same root. The yud at the beginning and the vav at the end are a prefix and a suffix. They come before the word and after. They're not part of the root. They give me the gender and the number and the person. Okay? So the root of the word is kuf vav mem. Right? And the vav is missing. It's a chasav vav, but you got the u there. That kubutz is under the kuf. And therefore you see that this is in, if you look up the form, it's in the pa'al binyan. It's the simple binyan, and it means they will rise up. But if you read the parsha, you're going to say that they rose up. All right? Why? Because the vav in the beginning, as I mentioned, since it's written in the future tense, that's what you do all your patterning on, and you translate it like that until you get to the very end. Then the vav switches it. It connects it to the past. It was written in the future. Reversing Vav makes it in the past. And it's in the Pa'al simple binyan. The dropping letter, as I mentioned, is a Lamed Vav. Excuse me, it's an Ayin Vav. Oh boy, got to fix this. I'll have to look over it. All right, Getty. Then we have an Ayin Vav. The person is third person because it's they. The gender is masculine. The person, right, the number is plural, right, because it's they, again. The tense is future, but you can see with the reversing Vav, right, yes, the Y stands for yes, is a reversing Vav. Instead of that they will rise up, which is the way the verb would be translated, the Vav made it that they rose up. And again, the special feature is the reversing Vav. All of the words on the list will be designed and declinated in the same way. You look at the word, and you break down, you look on the top, and each one of these things, wherever it's viable, you put it in, you formulate it on the chart, and then at the end of the week, we'll provide all the answers for each of the words that we have on the chart, as we just did in the word of Yayukumu.